Hi, and welcome to A Punk with Toys. My name is Lawrence, and today we're going to take a look at the G.I. Joe Classified Retro Scarlett, and this is the one that I think many of us have been waiting for. I know people wanted Duke because they wanted a retro Duke, but let's be honest, we needed a classified retro. We didn't even need a retro, we needed an updated Scarlett. Now, I didn't hate the original Scarlett, but as time went on, and you got to see better figures, you realize it's really a statue. Didn't have really good arm, didn't have good arm, elbow articulation at all. You couldn't really pose her, but now we have this. And as we can see, it is new art, but it is a piece made from the original one that we had as a kid. There we have her ponytail, her crossbow. Everything is classic here, and there we go. M16, crossbow, the backpack. And something else that went in there? Yeah, your stand, but we're going to compare it to the original O-ring. We'll compare it to her old one. Here is a file card, and I mentioned this before. I'm not a big fan of the file card. Not only the 5 language, but really they should have moved it down. Put the cross-cell up here and showed all the figures. Gung-Ho. The Baroness, Destro, Cobra Commander, they should have shown them all so they could have more of a cross-sell. It doesn't really matter they came with the Walmart line or one came with the HasLab. So there's that, and the biggest thing, you see that card, it is straight. So if you're an in-box collector, you're going to be able to hang this. It's not going to be all warped. This is thick. It's the same as Marvel Legends, Star Wars Black Series. It is in between. But to get it out, you're going to have to take a razor and cut it. Now, I'm not going to show you how to cut it. You can go back and watch the Duke video. I do it there. So anyway, let's get into this because you don't want to look at this. So anyway, before we do, if you like this type of content, if you like G.I. Joe stuff, take a second, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification so you're notified when I drop something like this. Now let's take a look at it. Alright, I got her out of her plastic prison and everything is out. Here you can see my original 1982 Scarlett, straight arm with a wobbly leg. She does not stand very well, if at all. The original classified one, got her crossbow right here. So you can already see that there are some differences, which I think we already knew. So quickly, let's take a look at everything. First, she comes with a very classic crossbow that she has to have, which I think is nice. Now, no string across it. It is flexible, to say the least. But here we are, we're looking at it. I'm not sure what this is supposed to be. So maybe some sort of laser pointer. So it does come straight. She comes with 4 arrows or bolts, whatever you really want to call them. And it looks like they just kind of pop right into place, peg into place, whatever you want to say. And there you have the crossbow. Now, what is cool is here we have this bolt. We have I believe this is a little bit straighter of one. All right, so you can see the arrows are just slightly different. And those ones, maybe these are all the same. I mean, they all look like they have slightly different tips. But then you have this one here, which is more like a grappling hook. So you can tell they did put some thought into that to just give it some sort of different look. So we take this grappling one here, pop that thing right in there. And you're going to be able to do some really nice shots. And again, all you probably need is some fishing wire. You can probably find a way to string that on there so you're doing some sort of grappling. All right. We get the M16 that we did see come with Mutton Junkyard, painted different. The stock has a slightly different paint scale, or paint scale. Slightly different paint there. Gun is pretty straight. It feels really stiff up here, which is nice. The stocks all seem to be kind of flimsy, same with the barrel. But you do have this nice scope on it. I think in the black, it looks better. You don't really notice the plastic that's holding the scope all the way there. But you can see all the mechanics of it. Removable magazine. Alright, port for blast effects. Again, looks really nice. We get the XR7, XLR7. And we've seen this, again, the one figure they didn't give it to us with was Snow Job, who was originally his rifle. Now this rifle does seem kind of big, like it's just thick. And again, it is flexible, but it's not that bad, and this is not me making excuses for them. They go back into place where they need to go, right? So, but we've seen this, really nice. Get the port hole for blast effects. And guys, I really am trying to stop saying it's really nice. I gotta find something else. Maybe I need to pick up a thesaurus next time. So, we got that. We've seen that numerous times. We get the pistol. I do like this. It is straight. Two tones. Again, this little bit of paint on these, it just goes so far. If this was just this full green, it would just blend and probably drive you nuts. I know it would drive me nuts. We got the knife. Again, super thick. You're not cutting very much. It's maybe the least dull knives ever. Now, why you went with a brown blade, I guess they just didn't want to do just a silver. Paint that, but you have the green handle, so everything's going to match. Again, most of these are just going to sit in sit in the holsters and the sleeves. So there you have one fist and two fists. So you guys have wanted fists, here you go. I think it's really good with the retro, because if you want to act like they're fighting, I guess you can do any of the figures, but you want to recreate cartoon scenes, there you go. And then here is the backpack that we've gotten with the Valkyries. It's nice green. Again, a little bit of paint would go really far with this, because you do have the little clasps. But again, every time they touch the paint, every time they use paint to touch anything, it adds to the price of the figure. So now let's take a look at the figure, because this is what you guys really want to see, right? And here is, I'm going to get her in a frame in 1 second. There we go, bring this out. Kind of raise it up just a little bit there. And there we go. So, she has a very Asian look to her, I would say. She doesn't look very happy. Not the prettiest. I would say this one is much prettier. Maybe Tony's Figs has a prettier head sculpt he might want to use, but I think it's good. It gets right to the point. And if you want, you can have her with the short hair. You can just kind of hide that. You never see that. But when you look at this hair, you get a realistic feel for it, a realistic look on it. There we got her grenade that's up there. I feel like I need to raise it. I'm just doing something wrong. So you got the grenade up there. You got an insignia of hers, probably her ranking or some sort. The red that goes across here. They gave her a quiver, and it's going to hold all 4 bolts. So you don't have to have one in there. You can just store it in there. She's got her throwing stars over here. Now again, this is Glenda. This is the buck that we're going to get for Glenda. So yellow boots there. We got the sleeve. The sleeve. I've done too many of these recently. The sheath for the knife. And no place for her pistol. Huh. Oh, she even has the inner pistol here that, once we compare it to the O-ring, you'll see. So, anyway, let's quickly take a look at this. Now, I have not had the greatest luck with some of the females. I want this one to be better. Good T-pose right there. You got your bicep swivel. Double pinless elbows. There we go. she does have a butterfly. Now, how well does it work? That's a whole nother question. Oops. So there you go. With the butterfly, as you can see, it only does so much. No ab crunch. It's the rocker. Her waist. Oh, her actually waist. Does her waist turn? Yeah, it looks like her waist does turn along with the rocker. So you're not gonna have any problem turning her. Good Jean-Claude Van Damme. Drop down hips. Got your thigh swivel. Ooh, knees are really nice and smooth. This figure is really nice and... Yes, Snake Eyes, she's tight. No problem there. You got your boot cut there. All right. Ankle rockers. There you go. So, that's enough of the articulation. You guys know that. So before I arm her up, let's compare her to the original. And again, my Scarlett has seen better days, but it is my Scarlett. So she has the red on the top, which is some sort of padding. She still has, I never really realized she was wearing a leotard as a kid. But she has the leotard, but it doesn't look so much like a leotard as this does. She has the grenade up there. Again, they gave her some sort of rank or insignia there. Again, if you remember, she has the mini pistol. Now they put it on the same side over here. And then they gave her the throwing stars right there. Now, why they gave her throwing stars, who knows? It was just that time. It had nothing to do with that she was going to be part of the Arashikage. It's just how it was. And then she has the knife there. And so you got the sheath for the knife. And then they gave her this little pouch, which also recreates what she had here, which looks like some sort of communication device, along with the pocket up there. And then you look at the boots. They even have the pouch on the boot. So they even kind of recreated the boot there. What she does have, she has peg holes, which she never had on the original. Good luck trying to stand that figure. I would say that the crossbow, which I had it up here, the crossbow doesn't really look the same. I can't find the crossbow. It's somewhere up here. But anyway, that's what you really wanted to see. So, quickly, I'll show you a few things that I do remember them discussing. So we'll take the knife, put the knife in the sheath. Okay, so it is just recreating that right there. Now they gave her the quiver. This can obviously come off. If you popped her off, you'd be able to get this off. I really wish that they'd use some sort of mushrooms, but they don't. And I do understand why. So each of these has its own hole. I can't believe I said that. Now this one here is not going to go in downward. So it's got to go in outward. I guess all of them would... I don't know. They're all supposed to go outward, but that would be really hard because if it pokes into you, it might kind of hurt. But hey, she's somewhat of a ninja, right? In the end. All right. So that one sticks. You can actually feel it pushing through over here. Look at that. You can see it's bulging. So this one here, you're going to want to leave one out and use in there, as the way that it cuts in here, it just kind of sticks out way too much. All right. What I will probably end up doing is using this one in there and then flipping it over, but we'll take a look at that later. All right. So you have your backpack, right? So you throw the backpack on here. They specifically made the ponytail, all right? So it can go around the backpack. So if you want to have her with the backpack on, pop that ponytail on like so. And then she still can use her head, move it back and forth, right? So that should make people happy. Or it can just be in motion. You're running around, it's in motion. no problem there. But let's take this off, throw the regular ponytail on, because let's say she doesn't have a backpack on. And there you go. So I can tell you what, this will be one of the things that probably gets lost 20 years down the road. All right. Now, they gave her a pistol. Nowhere to put the pistol. Kind of odd. Tabs here. We can throw the rifle on. So these are actually going to work, unlike the soldier, where his weapons don't. So they do fit right in there in the trigger guards. Again, it seems kind of strange if you had the trigger guard there. But we're going to throw on this. And then we'll throw these on here. So that's pretty much how you're going to arm her. And then we throw the bolt on. And just have the trigger guard for it, so you're able to put her finger in there. And look at that. Now we can actually pose her, do all kinds of stuff. I'm going to do a bunch of different poses with her, so that doesn't look bad. Does she stand with everything? She's definitely going to be top heavy. No, you sick dudes. Don't think of that. That backpack is going to make it very tough, but I don't think I'm going to have her with the backpack on anyway. It's just more weapons for me. And as you know, I've been having lots of weapons in here. But if she can actually twist, that's good, because now you can move the ponytail wherever you want. Now, I am going to struggle with getting this, and you know me, I do not like using stands. All right. So let's just take this off. And let's see if we're able to stand her easily. So I'm able to stand her, not really a problem. But you guys are asking, right? What about the fist? How easy do the hands come off? That easy, no heat. We are in Michigan. It dropped down to in the high 20s, low 30s. So get her fist on really easily. She can fight with it, punch, maybe knock out Duke if Duke tries to kiss her, because Snake Eyes wouldn't be happy about that. Anyway, there we go. Look at that. Let's throw the trigger finger back on here. Let's see how she looks with the laser rifle. Is she can't be running around with a crossbow the whole time. Now, one of the issues that I do have with most of the weapons is that they're just going to be too big for females. And that's perfectly fine, because in real life, most females are smaller. I am smaller. Weapons are going to look bigger. So you got to find some weapons that are just smaller in general. But you can see you can easily pose her. No problem here. This is something that was highly lacking in this reimagined figure. And I'm happy to have this in my collection, which I think most of you will be also. You got the pistol here. It's going to fit in really nice and easy. But again, it has nowhere to carry it. All right. So there we go. That is your review of your Scarlett. Can't wait to do some pictures with her. Who knows what else we might do with her. That sounded wrong. I did not mean for it to come off that way. Anyway, there you go. Scarlett. I think people have been waiting for this here. This is going to be the Glenda. And, yeah. There it is. I don't know what else to say about it. Except for she's a good figure. Good looking figure. Alright. Again, I'll mention again, not before. See, when they remade this, they gave her throwing stars. They tried to do stuff to give her a similar color palette as the original O-ring. People just didn't like it. And again, this thing's pretty much a statue. You can see how much her arms move. She is getting retired. Alright, that's it. Alright, quickly, one thing that I forgot to do that I wanted to do was do a size comparison. So here is Scarlett next to Snake Eyes. So you can see she is a little bit shorter, and his knees are bent a little bit. But here she is next to Duke, her not boyfriend. But we'll discuss that later. But take it up his. So you can see that there is a size difference, and I'm perfectly fine with that. The original Scarlett, about the same size. So there you go. That's what you guys were gonna ask, and I completely forgot about. I'm not gonna swap the heads. If you look at them, this one is very pale. This one is not. This looks like a Super 7. Oh, we forgot to paint it, and this looks like a, hey, this is what it's supposed to look like. All right, so there is your G.I. Joe Retro Classified Scarlett. This thing does come with a lot of stuff, so if you are short some weapons, you haven't ordered weapons from other companies, hey, you're going to have more than enough, because she has an extra pistol, an extra laser rifle, and an extra M16. But she also comes with her crossbow. I think this one's a really good figure. I really like what I see here. This female seems like it is built better than the other ones. If you guys have watched my review, I didn't have an issue with the Zorana, but I definitely had an issue with CoverGirl and then Helix. So this one just feels better. It really does. But they really do grasp the original O-ring 1982 version. So 2 different ponytails is the way to go. So if you want to run around with that backpack, you can. So there you go. You decide if you want to pick it up, and I'm going to say it's a must. All right, so there you go. That is the Retro Scarlett. I know everyone's been waiting for. I was waiting for. Again, if you got the Dragonfly, we knew it was coming because this, well, it doesn't matter if you got the Dragonfly or not. Once you saw the Dragonfly, you knew the Glenda buck was going to be used for Scarlett. Technically, the Scarlett buck was going to be used for Glenda. I'm sure this one was already in the works. Either way, we have a Glenda coming if you were one of the people that backed the Dragonfly. I was. I know, shocker, right? But anyway, I think this figure is a must-have if you're a G.I. Joe collector. If you're into this, again, you gotta have her. OG-13. There's not too much to complain about. I mean, that head sculpt is actually pretty good. So anyway, I'm going to get out of here. But please, listen, you stayed this long. If you're on Instagram, A Punk with Toys, you'll see both of them. Facebook group page, Punks with Toys, because once you join, you're a punk with toys. Last but not least, you stayed this long to watch the video on this figure because we've all been waiting for this figure. Take a second, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification so you're notified every time I drop a G.I. Joe video. And there's more coming. God, there's a lot more coming. But anyway, I'm going to get out of here. But don't go anywhere. Right up here is the Retro Recondo that I know you've all been waiting for. And this is the classified playlist of everything that I've done. Take care.